Hi, Libra. Welcome to your reading. I always like to give you what you need to hear so that you can get happy right now. You can take your next step in life and enjoy the journey towards your manifestation. Hi, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel, medium, and law of attraction expert. Without further ado, Libra, here's what you need to hear right now. Okay, so it looks like in terms of your soul level lesson right now, the deeper level growth that you're going through, is it like, how do you make sense and meaning out of a tragedy? How do you make sense and meaning out of something that just like felt bad and was like kind of like life altering? It's like, how do you make peace with the past without having to make yourself feel happy, joy about it? So it's like moving on from something that was like tragic and changed your life, like for the rest of your life, without needing it to pull you into negativity. So it's like, it's that balance between I'm never going to be able to fully like forgive you or forget that that happened. I'm never going to be able to I now recognize there's no solution to this problem. I can't go backwards and I can't make peace with it. But how do you move on? So that's like your bigger soul level lesson, which the rest of the reads can help you with that. In terms of in your human level lesson, accompanying the bigger soul level lesson is that it's kind of time for you to like step into being willing to daydream the next step of your life, the next chapter. And sometimes, when you have people from your past kind of like ripped out of your life, or maybe a fight and they're just no longer an option, maybe you can't trust them again. It's just recognize that key things that felt like a foundation to you are not there anymore. So it's like, how do I build a house without a foundation? How do I plan I'm going to college next without the support of family or without the support of so-and-so? So it's recognizing that this next step is also part of rebuilding your sense of security and safety in this world. And it's just recognizing that like that's coming first, the foundation's coming first. And then your tangible manifestations, the car, the vacation, the dream person. But it's like you're really reestablishing that sense of like, I'll say self-trust, self-love, self-reliance, but it's okay if it involves other people. It's okay if there's like new people in your life who listen to you, new people who advise you on financial moves to make. So you lost a steady rock in your life that you're not going to be able to bring back or not be able to make peace with it or not allow them in closely to you again. So it's getting that vision for the next chapter of your life, while also recognizing that your solid foundation of like feeling secure on this planet is also going through like an overhaul and a rebuild. It looks like in your recent past, you got a little bit of a glimmer of hope that that you can feel happy again, that you can have something to look forward to again. You definitely saw like, okay, this is possible, but I would say that it's like you just tapped into feeling hopeful. So you're like, okay, and now you're pausing like, do I actually really want that? And that's why this soul level lesson, human level are coming in right now, because if you actually want that, you are recognizing that you do need to feel secure, whether in your body, whether with the way you choose to live life. You're building that sense of security. And like, I just Libra, it is okay if your sense of security does also involve other people. So I know like happiness on your own, self-reliant, yes, that's all true, okay? But we came down as spiritual beings, just balls of energy on the human level experience. And, having someone hold your hand, having someone put their hand on your back and go, hey, I love you. Even if you go up there and say you're a tarot reader and everyone else in the room rejects you, you can come back here and get a hug from me because I love you and I accept you. Like, that's okay if some of your security comes from that. The recognition is knowing that your inner being, you, are what manifested that person in, and that if for whatever reason that crumbles or disappears, you can manifest it again if you still want to like live and go forward. So it is very much still a self-reliant thing to allow others in. Like, it is okay to want to hear, good job, I'll love you even if you do that. So just know that. Okay, it looks like in terms of right now, the now energy, you are definitely starting to put an emphasis on emotional fulfillment, So you are kind of starting to recognize like the value of friendships and partnerships. And this kind of happens for people in like the second third of their life. The first third, when we either have parents or society or teachers saying, do this, do that, you have that every day because you're going to school. So you get those everyday friends, you get those older adults who are there for you almost every day. When you get into the second, third, you can get a lot of people can get a little cocky and arrogant, like, I don't need a man, I don't need a wife, I'll worry about that when I'm older. As you get older, some of your friends get married, so they start focusing on the family, especially when they have kids. Sometimes they get a new job and they move away. And then you're like, oh, wait, I don't have that solid group that I used to have. So that can kind of evoke that, oh, I now see the value of relationships. I now see the value of putting my time there to nurture it. To go over there and like, oh, hey, your deck's out of sorts. I'll help you with your deck. Hey, you guys were sick. Let me come over and bring your trash cans in for you. So you're just really starting to recognize the value of like of relationships, investing in them, and even doing like the micro investments. Okay, it looks like going into your near future. Going into your near future, you are going to gain some clarity. Let me pull some clarifying cards on that one. You are going to gain clarity. And guys, anytime you have mental and emotional clarity, that's when life is good, right? You're like, oh, that's what I did wrong. Oh, that's how I fix this. Oh, that's what I want. When you have that clarity, that's when it's like, I can take action on that. So it's a good spot to be in. And yeah, it definitely looks like your clarity is going to be around like you're ready to live life feeling inspired again and eager. And it's almost like a who cares if other people are living life down in the dumps? Who cares if other people are like my age and letting their bodies go? I know that I like this. So you're gonna have that clarity, but you also got like so that's the ace of birds. You also got the ace of trees. So the ace of trees is when it has that little jubilance to the action, that little, let's go do it. If you're a man, you might not do that, but it will be like yeah, that's something I can do. That will make me feel competent. Um, okay, in terms of your personal power this month, well, your personal power this month is honestly just really to admit how sad and disappointed you are that whatever happened in your past that kind of just like altered your foundation, it just allow yourself to go, that was really sad. I am extremely disappointed that that was the choice they made. I'm disappointed that that's how I acted. It's like acknowledging the full sadness and the disappointment of it so that you can fully feel it. Because once you feel the emotion, it takes about 19 seconds to fully feel the depth of the emotion to release it from your body. So if you have any suppression, repression, oppression, just any emotion that you didn't feel, when it comes back up, it only takes 19 seconds. So whatever happened, 3 to 6 years ago, I'd say, just like feel that sadness, let that tear out and go, I'm really sad. I'm no longer talking to so and so. And go, it sucks having to do this without their support. That way you release it and then you're energetically open for the next chapter, for the new friendships and relationships to come into your life. And guys, like no matter what happened, I was watching a lot of Viking movies, so that's where this advice is coming from. But the Viking movies in that day and age, there were like lots of raids and just, oh, my parents were killed in the raid. Well, you're a 5-year-old boy. Are you going to adapt to the new family or not? So at some point, everyone always had to adapt to new. Or let's use not as tragic an example, but like, American history and when people were rushing out for the gold rush into California, sometimes people died along the journey, or sometimes when you went there and you went on your own, you're like a young man trying to make your own riches. You get there, you have to forge your own new family. So it's as much as money has made people to be able to have more of a choice to live, I'll say independently, but really isolationally. You can isolate yourself more now because you just outsource everything. You can go to the dry cleaners, you can order groceries, you can order takeout. You're just outsourcing your life instead of allowing in close personal relationships, And one thing to that, there was one guy I was dating. And he'd always go, man, I got that grocery delivery and like half the pre-cooked food, I can't even eat it because it all expires tomorrow. And I'm not gonna be able to eat all of it by tomorrow. So he had to spend time like negotiating some money back from them. Or he'd say, what the heck, I can't even eat the avocados. They're not gonna be ripe for 4 or 5 days. But if he had a partner, I guess in that case, it would have been me. We were new though. Going doing the grocery shopping, I could have been like, oh, I know this is what he's eating over the next like 3 days. I'll get one that's good tomorrow, one that's good in 2 days, one that's good in 3 days. And like avocados, let's get some that are ripe now. Let's get some that will ripen in a couple days. So there is a value to having someone who loves you in your life looking out for you. That's just kind of like a mass consciousness that like all of society is learning right now, especially people in the first world countries where like money, legacy, and like wealth is possible to accumulate. Um, Okay. So in terms of outside influences, well, what I can say about outside influences right now on your life, Libra, is that the past is still trying to like come in. I'm gonna use the word creep in. They're still trying to like not pull you back in, but they don't see what went wrong. They don't see what they did wrong. And they want to go back to the way things were. They want you as close as they were. They want to be able to like call you on their birthday and do that tradition every year. They don't see what went wrong. It kind of seems like they're not going to be able to understand it either. I guess just my advice to you would be like, it's okay to form a new tradition with them. There are some people in my past that it was like, a whoa, I will, no, we're never going to be that close again. I am not spending holidays with you at all. So I forged a new tradition with them. A once like twice a month video calls. No, I'm not coming home for the holidays, but twice a month video calls, once a week video calls. And I will tell you that when I found I do want to be in their life, even though they kind of betrayed me in a really big way, and I would never trust them with anything again. I do kind of want to stay in touch. When I found the new tradition, it's working out. So it is kind of because if that's coming up, it lets you know that you're not ready to let go of them either, which means there needs to be a new way. And just know that when the new way forges, even though the other people want the old way, they'll start to settle into the new and be like, okay, we're still connected. Because the people that I did this with, like, they're like, oh, that's okay. We get our video calls with you. So I hope that helped you, Libra. In terms of your hopes or fears for this month, well, it's definitely a combo of hope and a fear. It's kind of like that. I don't want to say rebirth because that sounds dramatic, but it's kind of like that. I just want to have that, like, a little bit of enthusiasm and eagerness for life. And what I can share for people, people who are in the first of their lives, they have that youthful optimism. They have that go-getter. Yeah, let's go do it. So they're just happy about everything. So like whatever we put our mind to, we can achieve, right? There's some things that it just can't happen. So then you enter the jaded years where you make it complicated and you're just jaded. How you can't go back to that innocence, but you can go back to simplicity. I like her. Let me go up and talk to her. Oh, she's complicated. Never mind. Oh, she's simple too. Great. So it's recognizing that even though you can't go back to that innocence, you can go back to living a simple life. I do this because I like it. And I'm okay that what I do allows me to enjoy life differently than how other people came down to live. It's also like a letting other people live the way they were living. Super personal example for you guys. There were workers working on the apartment building that I live in, and they were painting the railings. And at first when I walked out there, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to go out there and do a very privileged hippy dippy thing. I was doing my sage and my law of attraction affirmations. And then I went, wait a second, who are you to judge them for how they came down to live life? Right? They came down to live life differently than you, and they're enjoying. So then I went, oh, that's right. I can just enjoy. And I went out there. And sure enough, they actually got a good chuckle out of me, just like shaking my root chakra. And I was like, holding my sage and like burning it and just, doing my affirmations. They got a chuckle out of me. So they're probably like, what is that lady doing, man? Like, she needs to work more, So it's letting go of it. Because whenever you look at someone and see them in pain or like, oh, who am I to enjoy this when they're suffering? There's a little bit of you knowing how you would feel if you were in their shoes. I don't want to be painting an apartment building all day. God, no. My feet hurt after an hour. I was very much built for sitting and doing tarots and epiphany and personal growth for people. But I bet even though those people are like, they keep the essential function of society going, they don't, hi, Mike, they don't like doing a personal growth epiphany. They're like, no, man, no, why are you in your head? So like, It's like completely letting go of how you would feel in their shoes. Mike, do we know each other? It's letting go of how you would feel if you were in their shoes so that you can just get back to this is how I like to enjoy life. And I like to shake my root chakra and do my affirmations. Okay, in terms of your outcome for this month, it does look like what you're going through is it's going to get to the Ace of Lotuses, which is the I'm ready to enjoy life again. Even though it's going to look different, it's going to be in a new way. I'm ready to enjoy life and I'm ready for it. Oh, seriously, you can't hear me? I hope to God the volume. Oh, I hope that whole thing. Can you hear me at all? I would be so sad. Oh, I would be so sad. I hope the volume came through. But so Libra, it looks like the end of this month, you are going to go to that. I'm ready to enjoy life. I'm ready to love life. It's okay if it looks a little differently. I'm ready to discover the new way that I enjoy life, the new way that I sink into peace, the new way that I enjoy love and romance. So even though you're kind of going through like a how do I find peace after what happened, you are going to have a good outcome where you're like, I'm discovering a new way. All right, I hope that video helped, Libra. Don't forget, October's workshop is October 26th. There are still tickets available. It is a small, intimate workshop. Everyone who comes is going to get a seat in the hot seat with Spirit. It is a channeling, law of attraction, synchronization workshop. I'll put a link to the comments in that below, and I will get to the rest of the signs later. Love you all and hope you have a good day. Bye.